Hello guys, SC Knuckles here, bringing you a very special video to where I unveil the story of what I had planned for Reckoning of Osiris. First, I'd like to say a special thanks to Etsy creator Lily Nico on making this fine Zapdos hat. It's another one to my collection. Hope y'all like it. Sorry if the beak gets in the way. But anyway, so the story for Reckoning of Osiris, it was, like I mentioned in the vlog, it was going to be pretty much a therapeutic quest line for me. I was feeling very low at the time when I was making the story of this. So as the story of, actually, I do have an idea. I kind of want to bring up my old, well, I forgot the names I was going to have for this. So I want to go and check out and see what all I had planned for it. Yes, okay. So the first one was going to be Reckoning of Osiris, Save the Let's Players. It was basically just going to be a quest of where the heroine of the story, Hilda, I know it said Alice, but I was actually going to change it to Hilda. So we'll keep that name. So Hilda was basically a fan of all the Let's Players I had chosen for it. Now, if I remember off the top of my head, I think I had chosen Melee Wizard, Top Kirby, Pixcalibur, Wayne 444, Pain Racera. I'm trying to remember who else do I had. I remember I had 8. I was trying to imagine who all I had for it. It had to be Let's Players, so... Well, anyway, and then there was me in there, of course. And so, the story is she goes around saving all of these Let's Players. However, there is a special thing with me. Let me explain why I said this was therapeutic. Once she saves all the Let's Players, she gets information from each of them about who the villain is. Once she reaches the final area, she comes across me getting beaten down again. Only I unveil more information about who it was. After she makes it through the final dungeon, she comes across the villain, who is, and I said this was connected to Nightmare, Star Guy 12. And she is shocked because Star Guy 12 was her boyfriend. So it turns out her boyfriend was taking down all of... Focus, dang it. Focus. Why is it? No. Was capturing all the Let's Players for jealousy. And he pretty much took a beating on me multiple times because I had apparently been making contact with her, trying to brighten up her day because he wasn't treating her right. And so she does a final battle with him and defeats him, and just starts getting upset because she had to do that. And in the very end, because of the connection she made with me, we almost start getting a little closer. In the background, Star Guy has now talking to himself, thinking that plan didn't work at all, so he'll go and capture more. Thus, where Reckoning of Osiris 2, Save More Let's Players comes into play. In this one, it's pretty much almost the same, only it would have been more linear, almost like AR2 in a way. Only this time, Hilda and Dirks, aka me, SC Knuckles. FYI, Dirks is not my real name. That's just the name I would use if I was in the Pokemon anime. You've seen it in my Nuzlocke. I believe I used it there. But I just used the name Dirks. That's not my real name. For those that do know, keep it hidden. I don't want that unveiled. But we'll just go with the name Dirks, as in we're talking about me. So in this case, Dirks and Hilda decide to go and save the Let's Players themselves. And they do just that. There's no hidden thing at all. They see Star Guy has returned. And it's basically just revenge on me, pretty much. And now her, because, well, she beat him last time, and he just wants to get a lot of things done. Beat him, and then we go into the third game of the series, Reckoning of Osiris 3, Curse of the Let's Players. At the very end of 2, Star Guy would have found a way to like take down the more popular Let's Players, and we're talking like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, all those big names, PewDiePie, Nintendo Capri Sun, Chugga Conroy, all those famous names. The Curse would be doing the same thing as it did indeed there. There they come across him again and defeat the Curse that caused all those problems. Star Guy runs away from that. However, when disposing of the Curse, the remains of it go into me, and I faint at the very end. The ending prompt shows what happens to me, and it shows Star Guy going off to something that he wants to try and figure out a big plan to take us down. And it says he found something, and that's the end of the quest. Reckoning of Osiris 4, Haunting Dreams, was pretty much going to be the personal quest for me. Now, it sounds shady what I had planned for this, but this was when I was feeling low at the time. The story is, the Curse has affected me mentally. Since I am like happily in a relationship with Hilda, all the haunting dreams of all the past women in my life that have hurt me have come back, and it's affecting me sleeping and causing me to just feel like I'm going to have a failed relationship with Hilda. And so she gets concerned because she wants to save me, and so we head to a doctor to try and figure out what this is. However, the doctor knows what's wrong, but he can't do anything about it, so he sends me to a dream specialist. This dream specialist has a way of sending Hilda into my dreams to defeat all of the haunting dreams I've been having. Basically going in there and defeating all of those exes I've had problems with. Only in Dreamland, not for real. And their names would have been based off real life experiences I've had. So it would have been, their names would have revolved around how they hurt me in ways. This quest was one quest I definitely spent a lot of time writing on, because, well, I've gone through a lot of that throughout the time of this, whenever this was going on. And it sounds shady when you think about it, and I kind of agree, but I was coming up with stories. I was pretty much taking any bad experience I had and turned it into a story. And so, at the very end of that, and then during the quest, Hilda still hears my mind talking because she's in my dreams. She can hear my thoughts, and I give information on how they hurt, and then we go into the final boss, which is the Black Heart, which is saying I don't deserve happiness. She destroys that, and all my haunting dreams go away. And so that concludes Haunting Dreams. At the very end of that, Star Guy 12 has successfully come up with his plan to take us down, and is infused with it. This leads into Reckoning of Osiris 5, Awakening. In this one, Hilda and Dirks have come across some artifacts about a creature named Osiris. And so they go and do the mission, which is basically go and find 4 keys in order to access the temple that will lead into Osiris's grounds. At the very end, it turns out to be a trick. We beat the guarding Osiris, but it turns out Osiris possesses Dirks and pretty much teleports Hilda away. After trying to fight it off, he can't, and Dirk succumbs to Osiris. Meanwhile, this old man who wanted to resurrect Osiris answers, "Do you hear me, Osiris?" And Dirks, under Osiris's power, says, "Yes, master. What do you want me to do?" And that cuts it off. Now, the 3 quests that I had here: Reckoning of Osiris 6, Osiris Trials of Intellect 7, Trials of Discipline, and 8, Trials of Strength, basically would have been 3 mini quests of Osiris getting his power back. It basically, nothing else was going to be said, and then it was just basically Osiris getting his power back. This comes into Reckoning of Osiris 9.1, the Final Frontier. In this one, the old man wants Osiris to gain one last thing and challenge one last guardian in order to gain full power. 8 dungeons, grabbing the things he needs to get in. Osiris does all that, comes to the final area, defeats the boss, but after he beats the boss and goes into the next room, he finds the old man in there that he wanted, that was like a guardian to him, finds that he wants to defeat Osiris for ruining everything about him, and wanted to resurrect him at full power just so he can beat him. So it turns out the old man guardian wanted to resurrect him and beat him for revenge. He didn't want to face a weakened Osiris. He wanted to challenge a full powered one. Well, unfortunately for that old man, Osiris is at such full power, he beats him. And Osiris is king of the land, residing in the castle he's in. At the very end, a voice comes from within, trying to reach out to Dirks. And it says, Hilda has died. Fighting with all his might to remove himself from Osiris, he manages to separate himself from Osiris. And when he comes to, he realizes that Starguy has infused with Osiris to gain revenge, and that taking out Hilda was one of his main goals that succeeded. Before Starguy Osiris, quote unquote, because they're the same people, they're the same person, before he can unleash the final blow, Dirks is teleported out of the castle by a savior unknown. And he runs to where he heard the voice to go check on Hilda. Now, at the end of that quest, I was going to put up a prompt saying, do you want to know what happened to Hilda? Then play Reckoning of Osiris 9.2 Savior. If you already played it, then go play the final quest, which I'll get to in a moment. Now, in Savior, Hilda is awakened from her long coma that she's been in after being teleported out of there. Because, yeah, she was in a coma after what happened to Dirks. And so, she hears from a kind old lady wizard, to hear what she needs to do to free Dirks from Osiris. But at a cost. The thing she needs is something called the Osiris Blade. Here she would have to go and grab 3 keys to go open the shrine that has the Osiris Blade in it. Here's the thing. The Osiris Blade is cursed. Yes, it has the power to defeat Osiris once and for all, but the sword knows no mercy. Hilda, hearing that once she puts the Osiris Blade into Dirks, it will not only kill Osiris, but will kill him as well. She picks up the sword, hesitant to wanting to do that. The sword knows no mercy, and senses weakness in her. The sword senses that and explodes right in her face, killing her and separating into 8 pieces, ironic how this all goes, into 8 different shrines. The old wizard tries to reach out to Dirks, and as we know in 9.1, he hears it. Thus, we come to the final quest in the lineup, Reckoning of Osiris 10, The Reckoning. Here, Dirks reaches Hilda and sees her lying dead. Upset and everything, the kind old wizard informs them that there is a way to resurrect her, and that he must go to 4 temples to find the revival stones to resurrect her at full power. So, he does just that. After the 4th, Hilda is resurrected, and Dirks tells Hilda that Starguy has infused with Osiris, and he's now the leader of this land. We need to take him out once and for all. Dirks, filled with rage, really wants to kill Osiris and Starguy. The old wizard informs what happened to Hilda and learns that there is a weapon to take out Osiris, and it's the Osiris blade. So he goes after that, but is warned that the sword does not have any mercy in it, and that if he shows any hesitation to wanting to kill Osiris and Starguy, he would be taken out. But Dirks is filled with so much rage towards him, he thinks him and the sword will get along, per se. So he goes to all of those 8 temples, finds the pieces of the sword, fuses it together, and the sword senses another wielder is at hand and questions his motives. Dirks' motives is to kill Osiris and possibly want to kill that sword because of what happened to Hilda. Sword, enthused by all this, decides to go ahead and team up with Dirks and take out Osiris. Dirks reaches the castle where Osiris is at and has one last battle with Osiris and Starguy 12. There, he takes one last swing at Osiris, saying, "Die, Starguy 12," slashes at him. The sword hits Osiris and blows up in his face, killing Osiris and Starguy 12, with Dirks not affected at all because he really hated him. And the Osiris blade took all that rage in from Dirks and killed Osiris. That's what the sword was done. So now Osiris is gone, the Osiris blade will never return, and Starguy 12 is gone once and for all. So that was basically the whole story I had planned. I felt just like I was trying to make a story, like pretty much a fantasy story for something I had been longing for, and that's pretty much a love life. It sounds cheesy, it sounds shady and everything, but you gotta understand that I was going through a low point at this time, and I felt like making the game was therapeutic. I really hoped that it would have been made, but Atris could be long gone for all I know, and everybody else was giving me junk mail and saying all this and that. Pretty much words were not heard correctly. So that's basically what I had planned for Reckoning of Osiris, that whole story. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's what I wanted to do. So what did you think of all that? Did you think that would have been a great series to make out of 10, well, actually 11 quests? It's better to tell the story through something I really loved, and that was Zelda Classic. I felt like, since this is a game maker, and I thought I was coming into a community where people were willing to help, but in the end I came across those that took pride over anything. So that's the story of Reckoning of Osiris, guys. Tell me what you think in the comments or anything. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. And the next video I have for y'all is when normal Zelda Classic stuff will continue. I've already given y'all the hint of what it could be at the end of Panoply Calatia. And so, hope you guys will enjoy for there. And even though this wasn't technically a Let's Play, that concludes Reckoning of Osiris. Certainly hope you enjoyed my story on it. You know the criteria. Leave good comments, subscribe if you haven't, leave a like, follow my Twitch, and until next time, I am SC Knuckles, and I will see y'all next Let's Play. See you then, guys.